Good afternoon, everyone. So thanks again to the Vigilance team for being pioneers in this very interesting topic. So I think another round of applause for them. Thank you. Getting the energy up and running for our last lecture. So we've kept the best for last. So let me start with the introduction. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Dr. Zoulfaghari Farraj, Regulatory Affairs Specialist at Jordan Food and Drug Administration, JFDA. She is a clinical pharmacist that graduated from Jordan University in 2011 with a Pharma D. Previously, she's been a clinical pharmacist at King Hussein Cancer Center from 2011 to 2018. Dr. Rand has been a regulatory affairs specialist at JFDA since 2018. And in addition, she is an active member in Post-Approval Change for Originator Drugs Committee and an active member in Obligation Committee. So let's come together to give a big round of applause for Dr. Rand. Thank you.
Hi all. It's my pleasure to join you this event today. My presentation will be about JFDA regulatory requirement and approval pathway for botulinum toxin medicine in Jordan. What's the agenda of my presentation will be about what's botulinum toxin, registration process, including accreditation of manufacturing site, labeling and labeling requirements, pricing process, and post-marketing evaluation. What's botulinum toxin? Botulinum toxin is a neurotoxic protein produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum, which is a gram-positive anaerobic bacterium. It prevents the release of neurotransmitter acetylcholine from the axon, ending at the neuromuscular junction that lead to the relaxing of the muscle. The uses of botulinum toxin in general maybe have a therapeutic effect or a cosmetic effect. As an example of the therapeutic indication, it's used for upper limb spasticity, crossed eyes or strabismus, severe underarm sweating, preventing migraine in people whose migraine headache lasts at least 4 hours on 15 days, reducing symptom of overactive bladder, eyelid spasm, and neurologic movement disorder called cervical dystonia. And as cosmetic, mainly for wrinkles between the eyebrow, wrinkles around the eye, horizontal seizures in the forehead, and lines at the corner of the mouth, and cobblestone skin on the chin. 3 products registered in Jordan as botulinum toxin, considered as biological medicine. Registration process. The biologic medicine contains an active substance that's produced from biologic origin, such as living cells. JFDA Technical Committee for registration of a new drug, which consists of highly specialized experts, is responsible for the evaluation and approval of registration of these products. Biosimilar product is highly similar to the original or reference product to be approved for use, but the manufacturer must prove that biosimilar work the same way, have the same strength and dosage, and therefore can be taken the same way as original biologic medicine, and do not have any clinical meaningful differences in safety or effectiveness compared to the original biological medicine, have the same high standard of manufacturing as the original products, and biosimilar development save time and resources by avoiding unnecessary duplications of documents or clinical trials mainly. Comparability exercise is done if we have a biosimilar product that's mainly similar to the original one. It includes similarity in quality, include physiochemical properties, biologic and pharmacologic activity, non-clinical, including pharmacodynamic and toxicological studies, and clinical studies include pharmacokinetic, dynamic efficacy, safety, and immunogenicity. The comparability exercise, if it's have a good document for the quality, it can reduce the data for a clinical and non-clinical requirement to compare to full dossier. If the comparison fail at any stage in the comparability studies, the products must be stand-alone and develop its own studies as clinical and toxicological studies. A stand-alone product contains all information and data necessary to demonstrate that the biologic product is safe, pure, and potent. Only one reference product is allowed through the comparability exercise. The biosimilar product cannot be referenced for another biosimilar product. There is no regulatory requirement to repeat the demonstrations of biosimilar against the reference product once the MA has been granted. Registration life cycle include pre-market evaluation, marketing authorization, and post-marketing evaluation. At JFDA, we follow the laws that are already published on our website for a drug registration guidance and also for biosimilar guideline. Both are published on the website for JFDA. قوانين وتشريعات من موقع المؤسسة طبعاً. عندنا تصنيف الدواء، قسم التسجيل، بنلاقي عندنا أسس الأدوية البيولوجية المشابهة وأسس تسجيل الدواء لسنة 2015. الإيفالويشن بروسيس كيف تصير عندنا؟ أول شيء بصير عندنا سبمشن للدوسير. طبعاً إحنا من 2019 شغالين على ECTD. بصير في عندنا سبمشن للفايل كومبليت دوسير من الايجنسي. بصير في عندنا validation وريفيو للفايل. التاسك بصيرها distribution حسب هي quality, validation, technical, analytical, efficacy, safety, manufacturing site and inspection lab analysis. Deficiencies inquiries are sent to the applicant and they respond within the due dates. When they have the response, technical committee will evaluate and vote, either by rejection or approval. Rejection have the right to appeal with physical document within 30 days from the rejection date, or the approval, then when they approved all the documents, then will be sent to pricing section. Pricing section will produce LAMFA 2, which the agency can appeal within 30 days if they are not acceptable the price that are suggested by JFDA, or then will proceed with LAMFA 1, which is the registration certificate that are published. CTD triangle. This is the organization of the data that will be submitted with all dossier. The biosimilar dossier is organized according to the electronic common technical dossier with a full quality, plus comparability exercise for clinical and non-clinical. And the manufacturing sites that will be accredited and approved by JFDA for any biologic or biosimilar medicine must be approved from drug substance till drug product. And also here on the website, we have the guidance for ECTD, for the checklist, for the document and guidelines already published in JFDA website. Module 1, which is administrative parts. These sections contain documents specific to each region. For example, labeling, leaflets, mock-up for the product. The content and format of this module can be specific for relevant regulatory authorities. On module 1, mainly we can see cover letter, applicant information, etc. Pharmacovigilance include a risk management plan. Module 2, which is the summary for modules from 3 to 5. Module 3 in details, as part, drug substance, P part, drug product, regional, which is country-specific, and appendices include facilities and equipment. As part include general informations and in details also for the drug substance that is in the composition of the drug product. And we depend mainly on, like this can be depend on the active substance specifications, on the EP monograph, or even USP or Japanese that are all accredited by JFDA and can we rely on. P parts also contain the composition, pharmaceutical development, manufacturer control, and stability studies as well, which maintain that the original form of the product will be maintained without any visible change under the influence of any various environment factors like temperature, humidity, or light. Stability should be performed in the same manufacturing site, the same packaging material, the same storage condition that will be accredited, and the same specifications that will be approved by JFDA. And stability studies determine the shelf life and storage condition of the products. Module 3 are parts, contain regional informations. Examples, the plasma master file for each biologic product that have a plasma in its origin, in its composition, will contain plasma master file and must be submitted in the regional parts. Plasma master file is a standalone documentation which is separate from the full dossier. Contain the characteristic of a human plasma used as a starting material in any product that's derived from albumin mainly. From donation to plasma pool will give the full cycle of that ingredients. And the evaluation for plasma master file will be by vaccine and sera registration committee. Also, we depend on the EMA guidance for the plasma master file. The content of the plasma master file in general, it contains a list of medicinal products to which it applies. The period of data collection should be specified, and a data log point which gives the estimate of upcoming annual report because it's updated regularly. And evaluation takes place in a review of the full file plus review of the approval certificate from the country of origin. The appendices, as we said, facilities and equipment mainly. Module 4 is non-clinical. Non-clinical research generated from in vitro lab studies and from in vivo studies in animal. The data characterize the important pharmacokinetics and dynamics features of the medicine product and also contains the data for toxicological studies of the drug product. Module 5 is the clinical study reports, which include also a periodic safety update report for the drug product. Botulinum toxin can be submitted at JFDA as a fast track or depend on reliance model. This model facilitates the review of a drug and accelerate the approval of drugs that are registered and approved from US FDA and or EMA, which is stringent health authorities, to enhance and accelerate the availability of these drugs in Jordanian markets. The sponsor must, when submit the product, will ask for submission as a fast-track application. The same documents must be submitted with normal application, except that for fast-track, we ask the MAH or manufacturer for assessment reports that's released already from US FDA or from EMA, and also a declaration letter from the manufacturer that the submitted dossier is identical to the one that's submitted to JFDA, to EMA or FDA in manufacturing site, packaging material, and all other data. In fast-track applications, also we can omit the needed for chromatograms in the regional part. The workflow through electronic system, when already applications is approved and for evaluation, the task will be distributed according to the division. For lab analysis, only analytical method will be analyzed. Manufacturing committee, if site is not accredited. Technical committee, mainly the public assessment report. And RDU section will evaluate the PSUR, RMP, and price certificates. Then the decision will be made for in the next and first technical committee after receiving the application and taking decision about the file, either by registration of a drug or deficiency letter that we talked before that will be transferred to the agency. Manufacturing site, as we talked also before, it must be accredited and approved by JFDA from drug substance to drug product. Each step in biological product must be approved by JFDA to each line, to each step of the drug, it must be accredited. And also, the manufacturing site guideline is published in the JFDA website. Labeling, also the requirement for labeling, even it's SNPC or leaflets or outer pack or inner label, is all data are available and as annexes in the registration guideline. Pricing of botulinum toxin is done through a pricing section. According to JFDA guideline for pricing, it's considered as a hospital drugs and a clinic drugs. When they determine the price for the botulinum toxin, they refer to reference country price, suggested the price from the manufacturing company, country of origin, and KSA price. Inquiry sent to drugstore or local company via workflow. Then, when we have registered the drug product, then post-marketing evaluation for the drug product will take place as a post-approval changes or renewal of the drug product every 5 years in general, and post-marketing surveillance and pharmacovigilance for safety update for the drug product. Post-approval changes, the submitted variation must include the country of origin health approval for the variation that will be submitted, and same document submitted to the health authorities will be submitted to JFDA. We have already guidance for post-approval changes, and mainly we depend on WHO guidelines on the procedure for biological medicine, already published on our website. And categorization of the variation is according to the majority of the change. Even it may be need technical approval for the variation. If it's major change, maybe as a regulatory approval, if it's minor change, or maybe notifications. But while we are talking about a biologic product, that's mainly RA or even TCA. And thank you.